Welcome to Thursday's Market SITREP here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz, and the political frothing at the mouth continues even though the president has flown overseas to France to celebrate Bastille Day and unfortunately the terrorist attacks obviously of a year ago. But here's my rant, guys. The John McCain, ordinary citizen John McCain, right? No, he's a U.S. senator. He sent one of his aides last year around the world, across the Atlantic, to get that dirty dossier, as much dirt on Trump as he could. And then when he got it, he turned it over to the FBI. And why is this not breaking news on CNN and MSNBC? So John McCain, an elected senator, he was a naval aviator. His POW stuff, folks, different category. He was an idiot in the Navy, by the way. That's we could talk about that over beer. But so where is the outrage on this? So the liberal media is their faces are melting off still over Donald Trump Jr. Anybody see this on the news at all? Anybody care that a U.S. senator, a Republican senator, went to get a dirty dossier on Trump and then gave it to the FBI so maybe they could investigate him? You guys have a problem with that? Makes me furious. But all right, guys, so the S&P 500, not seeing the rip your face off rally follow through that we got out of dovish Janet yesterday. See, the S&P's up about 4, Dow's up about 30. I'm hanging on to my Apple Iron Condor and my bear calls, my SPX Iron Condor, and the 2455, 2460 bear call spread I sold yesterday. Folks, she didn't say anything. Well, first of all, they more or less cut away from her coverage. I think if they left her coverage on, the market would be selling off a little bit more. I don't think we're going to rally into the close tomorrow. So my Apple Iron Condor and my SPX bear call spread and Iron Condor, I'm holding on to, guys. I don't see this market rallying into tomorrow. We still have some Fed lieutenants that are getting ready to speak. We got another one speaking tomorrow. She sounded way too dovish, folks. And for a woman who last week said, hey, equities are way overvalued and vols at historic lows, she certainly didn't talk this market down. She talked it up. And I expect a little bit of a sell-off Friday. So I'm holding, for all my members, all those positions. Real quick, though, Options Weapons School is going great. We did Iron Condor training last night on Apple, a pre-earnings trade, and also this morning, the urgent alert brief at 10 o'clock. I did a bullish double vertical on VXX as a what I call a trade and a hedge. I'd love for the trade to make money, and if it doesn't, I really don't care because it's a hedge. So that's why I call it a trade. So the slots are open. I think as of right now, we have about 14 left. Once we get rid of those 14, we're done. We get airborne Monday at 1 o'clock with our Options Weapons School weekly options live trade brief. And if you don't grab your slot, you won't be in it, okay? So you need to head to go.topgunoptions.com/GetOWS. And you can either do it for $9.95 a year, which gives you access to the primary live trade brief, the urgent alert service, and the 8 training sessions I'll give you for a full year. Or you can add weekly options in here for $14.95 a year. I did make the offer, folks. If you're not ready for weekly options, that is a perfect example, folks. This is a lucky strike moment with the S&P just kind of drifting higher here. I'm hanging in there, man. I'm taking a drag in my lucky strike because I believe my commit criteria that, especially in the dog days of summer here, we ain't going to be catching the bid into the close. So, but if weekly options aren't your speed right now, just grab a slot and shoot an email to support@topgunoptions.com and say, hey, instead of weekly options, I'd rather be in the accelerated retirement service. And then maybe down the road, fleet up, so to speak, to weekly options. Or you can just give us a call after you grab your slot, 754-300-1084. This is the replay page. We have the Iron Condor Apple training on here, the VXX Bullish Double Vertical training. Everything is on the replay page if you didn't get a chance to attend this week. Go.topgunoptions.com/replay. Okay? What's going on around the world, folks? This is one of the reasons very, very timely decision to get out of my FXI positions. Been long-term bullish on FXI. That's the iShares China ETF. This headline ain't going to make Donald Trump happy. U.S.-China trade tensions are about to get ugly again because our trade deficit is at its highest level since June of 2015. Not only that's going to piss Trump off, but the fact that China really isn't sitting on North Korea, and we're going to have to do something about it. So I think it's a very, very timely call. I'd be bearish on the FXI right now. I got out of my positions for a nice profit. This isn't good. It's about to get ugly with China. So if anything, like I covered in the accelerated retirement brief on Wednesday, we did a I didn't get filled on it, though. A bear call spread on FXI. I think that's getting ready to roll over here. But global stocks, folks, hey, man, put your rally hats on. Janet Yellen is dovish. That's not a good thing, though, folks. Like I told you, last week she sat there and pounded the table saying equities are too high, vol's too low. This market better wake up that there are real risks. And yesterday she cooed like a dove, and the markets had a rip-your-face-off rally. I covered this last week. Watch my SITREPs from last week. The Journal had a report that said the Fed and Janet are way, way concerned that equities are overvalued. And then if she debriefed her testimony yesterday with her Fed crew, they can't be happy with the response of the market because she just talked it higher. So I expect these Fed lieutenants that are talking today and tomorrow, Brainerd and what's his face? We have Kaplan, Brainerd, and Evans. I would expect them to be a little bit hawkish. So Evans canceled. That's weird. I think, are they out of Jackson Hole? But Brainerd's speaking at 1. That's coming up here in 33 minutes. And then we have a lot of macroeconomic data tomorrow, folks. Inflation, retail sales, cap rate, industrial production, and some U of M numbers. I think, especially if these are a little weak, or if any of them weak, we're going to give some of this rally back. Mario Draghi's going to speak out there in Jackson Hole. I think this might also give the market a little bit of pause, because remember this little freak out around here? This was Mario Draghi doing the Ben Bernanke a couple years ago. Last call. Hey, man, Mario might be taking away the punch bowl, and you're freaked out about that. How dare you call last call? We're drunk on your liquidity. Just like we did, folks. Whenever Ben Bernanke started to taper or thought about tapering or did taper, we went through a taper tantrum. Now, we recovered and went back up because we said, well, he can remove this liquidity because he thinks we can fly out of this nest on our own. But beware the initial Mario taper tantrums, which I want to see. Same thing with the Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda seeks to tamp down speculation on tapering. They've been pumping yen into their markets too. So we're kind of the lead ship in this experiment of capitalism, where the central banks prop up capitalism. We're the lead ship in what happens when you take it away. What happens when you take it away? Shockingly, markets can perform on their own. Ms. Yellen and Mr. Kuroda and Mario, get out of capitalism, guys. I was totally, in 2008, man, when I was running the Options News Network, I was a let it burn. Let the financial system implode. Nobody was going to die, folks. On the back of my book, which you guys can order a copy, one of the best quotes of the financial crisis was when Lloyd Blankfein, he was getting ready to get out of his limo with a couple of his lieutenants to go into the New York Fed on a Sunday afternoon before the Asian Open, and he said to one of his aides was like freaking out, like, oh, I'm so stressed. He said, hey man, you're getting out of a Mercedes to go into the New York Fed. You're not getting out of a Higgins boat on Omaha Beach. So keep things in perspective. Meaning, you're not going to die. Your house in the Hamptons is still safe, dude. Relax. Charlie Brown here, Mitch McConnell, again, trying to get this health. I really don't care about this, to be honest with you. I care about tax reform. I care about the infrastructure spending. I care about gutting Frank and Dodd and all this ridiculous Obama financial regulation. But this Obamacare thing, guys, Republicans, if you fumble this again, man, I've already had it with you. I'm not a Republican. I'm a libertarian. Republicans voted 63 times to repeal Obamacare under Obama. They failed once right here to repeal it, and we've still been failing to repeal it and replace it. It's an embarrassment. You guys are a national embarrassment. You own the White House, you own the House, you own the Senate. You can't do shit. You suck. JP Morgan on tap for bank earnings tomorrow. I think we're going to see some good bank earnings. I think the FIC is going to be strong, the fixed income currency commodity trading, but it'll be interesting to see. Wells Fargo and Bank of America are more your mom and pop-ish, and we got our Goldman, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, more the blue blood bank. So we'll see how JP Morgan does tomorrow. That's about it, guys. Like I said, this is a lucky strike moment for me, or like I say, a Braveheart hold moment. Where's my Braveheart? So sometimes I send this picture out to my members saying, hey, let's just hang out here, man. It's Thursday. It's halfway through Thursday. We have a day and a half, which if you think in terms of a monthly option, it's a week and a half of time left in our weekly options trades. A lot can happen between me talking right now and the close tomorrow. And after this little rip your face off rally on Janet being dovish, I really think somebody's got to come out and talk her down a little bit, and that's why I'm hanging, okay? All right, guys, like I said, you got to grab your slot. Go.topgunoptions.com/GetOWS. If you want to substitute accelerated retirement for weekly options, shoot us an email, support@topgunoptions.com, or you can give support a call at 754-300-1084, okay? Like I said, most likely, and that's another slot going, we'll most likely be done with all of our slots tomorrow, and we're going to be getting airborne Monday with or without you, okay? So have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see some of my members tonight for Options Weapons School. I think we're doing long call diagonals and synthetic stocks. So I'll see you guys tonight at 7. We'll talk to you later.